Welcome back, everybody, to the Ability 360 Sports and Fitness Center in Phoenix, Arizona. Our next match, the first playoff match, features the London Annihilators versus the Portland Pounders for Para Sports Live. I'm Tony Jackson, our friends over at HTN Sports Network, providing the video today for the live stream. And we are underway here, and the Pounders have won the ball first, and Orozco Nunez for the Pounders is taking the ball. He passes over to McBride, Seth McBride for the Pounders. Orozco Nunez with the ball once again. McBride looking to back in over the line for the first point of the match. And so now the London Annihilators. Debley now up the floor for London. Debley. Ball gets moved around. Nice ball movement. And it's finished off by Cody Caldwell to bring everything level at 1. Orozco Nunez down the floor, weaving through the defenders as two London defenders collide. Two won the score early on. Caldwell with the ball. Debley takes the ball over the line. Nicely done. Orozco Nunez, once again, really the dominant player for this Pounders team, as we saw him earlier this afternoon in that pretty convincing victory over the 360 Heat Yellow team. Now McBride over the line as he crashes through Debley, and Orozco Nunez gives Debley a little bump there, almost knocked him over. The pass up the floor, long pass up the floor. Nicely done, good finish. Orozco Nunez passes over to McBride. Good job by McBride, just kind of getting ahead of the defense there and giving his teammate an option as he got squeezed out there, moving up the floor. Long pass caught by Debley. The action moving along pretty quickly here early on. And Orozco Nunez working his way around, trying to get over that center line before 12 seconds is up, and he does. McBride back to Orozco Nunez. Good movement. And you can see Wilsey just throwing his hands up, wondering where the defense was. Excuse me, that was not Wilsey. That was Morale, Travis Morale. And now Debley once again takes the ball and over the line. And there is a picked off pass caught by Debley. Nicely done. Good defense. Adding to the Annihilators' lead. McBride passes to Orozco Nunez. And he'll score another point for the Pounders. Caldwell having some trouble getting through, and he's got to call a timeout. Want to thank you all again for watching our presentation of the 2018 Rugby Rave. And the official waiting for Caldwell to pass the ball back in, and play has restarted. Morale trying to work his way through the Portland defenders, and he does. Good strong move there, Travis Morale. It looks like McBride, looks like his wheel came off there, maybe a little bit, but he's ready to go once again. McBride, no options to pass the ball in, so he has to call a timeout. And Woodbury takes the ball for Portland. A point there for the Pounders. We're going to get another timeout. And Morale backs in for another point. Orozco Nunez now for the Pounders once again, getting harassed by the London defenders. And Woodbury takes the ball. Nicely done. Woodbury now in trouble as he's surrounded in a scrum. And it looks like Seth McBride tried to come away with the ball, but they lost it. And so now the Annihilators, back the other way they're going. Caldwell going to go ahead and take it in for another point. McBride almost went over the line, but he managed to stay in bounds, and so now he's going to have to call a timeout. He's going to run out of time. He had 12 seconds to get it over the line, but again, he wasn't going to get there in time, so he called a timeout wisely. Annihilators leading by 2, 9-7 the score. And now McBride once again for the Pounders, restarting their attack. Orozco Nunez passes back to McBride as he was caught up in a swarm of defenders. Portland trying to close that gap. They're down by 1. Portland with another point. The Annihilators with another point. McBride trying to work his way around that wall of defenders. And he passes off to Orozco Nunez. Morale tries to dislodge the ball from his grip, but Orozco Nunez pushes through. Debley tried to stop him, but he couldn't do it. Orozco Nunez, a little too much momentum, carried him over the line. So now the Annihilators looking to go back up by 2, and they do it. Debley with another point. And that pass lost by Orozco Nunez, and he's going to be able to catch it, though. But it was taken away, and now Morale. Nicely done. Good defensive play by Caldwell. And it looks like the referee is going to call a foul on Orozco Nunez, and he's going to go into the penalty area. And now Debley once again for the Annihilators. Oh, and nicely done. Good defensive play by Pico Dagenais. Dagenais just reaching up and disrupting that pass. McBride over to Orozco Nunez now. Orozco Nunez surrounded. Can he break free? He can. Orozco Nunez can't quite get through. He's got to hurry up and get that ball over the line, but he's going to call a timeout instead. And after the timeout, Orozco Nunez with the ball. McBride over the line he goes. Annihilators hanging on tight, but they can't seem to close that 2-point gap. As Caldwell brings the ball back up the floor for the Annihilators. And now London up by 3. On the other court, a quick update on the east side. Oscar Mike Militia leading the 360 Heat yellow team 12-9. That's the end of the first period over there. We're winding down here on the west court as the London Annihilators look to go back up by 3. Score currently 13-11. And they're really just kind of holding on for that final point. You can see the score clock just at the top of your screen there. And there it's going to be an illegal use of hands. Orozco Nunez disagree with that call, but he's going to go into the penalty area regardless. And actually it's going to be McBride. The way he shook his head looked like Orozco Nunez was going to get called for that. So the Annihilators, with a few seconds left, are going to try to get one more point out of it. It looks like they're going to get it. Caldwell just holding on. And that is how the first period is going to end. London Annihilators 14, Portland Pounders 11. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, the second period, you're watching the 2018 Rugby Rave live from the Ability 360 Sports and Fitness Center. Second period about to get underway. The Annihilators leading 14-11 over the Portland Pounders. For Para Sports Live, I'm Tony Jackson. Working together on this broadcast is HTN Sports, providing video for this coverage of the 2018 Rugby Rave. And Jake Wheeler over the line for the Pounders. Oh, and it really looked like Shane Smith there caught a forearm to the face, but that was just from our vantage point here. And now Roscoe Nunez once again with a point. Shane Smith with another point for the Annihilators. Quick update from the other court. Oscar Mike Militia 14. 360 Heat Yellow Team 11. 6 minutes left to go in the first half. And Orozco Nunez adds another point for the Pounders. Now Smith over to Wilsey. Wilsey back over to Smith. And Shane Smith trying to find his way through. But he passes the ball off to Morale. Now Morale trying to make his way through. Trying to wedge his way through the defenders, and he does. And the Annihilators with a nice little lead, but McBride takes that long pass from Orozco Nunez and cuts that lead back down to 3. Smith racing up the floor. The long pass. And another point. Orozco Nunez is trying to force his way through, and he had to pass the ball off. Now he gets it back, and he's trying to get the ball over the line, and it goes off of Caldwell. And it looks like the official is going to award possession to the Pounders. McBride almost lost that ball. And Morale, I think Morale's going to get whistled for an illegal use of hands. No, looks like the Pounders were awarded a point. And so now the Annihilators with one of their own. Shane Smith with a point. And Orozco Nunez puts another one up for Portland. And Portland trying to hold on here. They're down by 3. Things look like they've settled down just a bit after the Annihilators went on a little bit of a run. Shane Smith with another point. That one just a little bit in front of him. It almost looked like he wasn't going to catch that, but he did. McBride takes the ball, tries to get over the center line, passes to Orozco Nunez. And Orozco Nunez gets over the line to keep that lead to within 3. Quick update from the East Court. Oscar Mike Militia, 17. 360 Heat Yellow Team, 13. And here on the West Court, we have a timeout. 4 minutes left to go. Annihilators 23. Portland Pounders 19. Coming out of the timeout, Annihilators up by 4. And Seth McBride will throw it in. Excuse me, that was Robbie Pollock. Roscoe Nunez trying to work around, and it looks like a foul was called on Morale, who's going to go into the penalty area. Wilsey for the Annihilators. Morale, the pass over to Caldwell. And then the Pounders have consistently kept it to within 4, but they can't really seem to close the gap much more than that. You know, they get within 3, and then the Annihilators go back up by 4. Once again, now the Pounders within 3. Let's see if they can get a stop here and then work to get to within 2. Smith with the ball for London. Morale trying to work his way around. They may have to call a timeout. 12 seconds is coming up quick, and it looks like that's what they're going to do here. So London's going to take a timeout. Still up by 3, and again, Portland now will look to try to force a turnover and get the ball back and close that gap a little bit. They've done well to keep it manageable, but they really need to make a move here to try to close that lead even further. It looks like Morale lost a tire. Let's see here. Nope, just came off the axle a little bit. Morale trying to work his way around. And he does. Nice little screen there by Smith. It's 25-21. Now that they are within 3, let's see if Portland can do something here. Close that gap a little bit further. Morale with the ball. The pass out. It's lost by Caldwell, but he gets it right back. And a nice pass over to Smith to re-extend that lead to 4. Orozco Nunez with another point. And again, Portland right there, keeping it close, but they're not really able to stop London from scoring themselves. We're slowly approaching halftime here. And let's see if Portland can make any adjustments to kind of close that gap down a little bit more. Quick update from the other court. It's halftime. Oscar Mike, Militia 22, 360 Heat Yellow Team 17. Now Woodbury passes over to McBride. Another point for the Pounders. Caldwell passes, long pass down the floor. Over to Morale. Orozco Nunez, another point. Annihilators holding on to that lead. They're currently up by 3. Can they push that lead back out to 4 before the whistle for halftime? Owen Wilsey not happy about that. Another timeout on the floor. 30 seconds left. Morale trying to work his way through. Annihilators trying to push the lead back out to 4 before halftime. And they get a point. 9 seconds left. Can the Pounders score in that time? Let's find out. It looks like they're just going to hold on to the ball and let the half run out. We're going to go to halftime. The London Annihilators up by 4. The score 30-26. We're going to take a break. When we come back, the second half, you are watching the 2018 Rugby Rave live from the Ability 360 Sports and Fitness Center. Back here for the second half, it's the London Annihilators versus the Portland Pounders. Annihilators up by 3. And the Pounders moving down the floor. Orozco Nunez scores, and now the Pounders down by 2. Oh, and a huge hit by Orozco Nunez, but it wasn't enough to stop Caldwell. And that is a turnover for the Pounders. Woodbury couldn't catch up to it in time. And the Annihilators, as you saw there just now, bringing their lead back up to 4. That ball is loose. McBride couldn't grab it. Nice throw there from the other court. While we have a moment, I want to thank you all once again for watching the live stream of this 2018 Rugby Rave. We'll be back tomorrow to bring you the third place and championship match, so be sure to tune in for that. McBride racing, passing over to Orozco Nunez. Caldwell for the Annihilators. Passes up the floor over to Debley, who puts another one up, and the Annihilators up by 5. And real quick, update from the other court. Oscar Mike Militia 30, 360 Heat Yellow 20. Oscar Mike Militia showing brute force out there. just completely dominating the Heat yellow team. McBride with the ball. He loses the ball. McBride, there's a scramble for it. In the officials, it looks like they're going to say that McBride called timeout before losing the ball. Let's see here. And McBride's going to take the ball. McBride racing up the floor, trying to get around the defender, and he does. And Portland still trailing. 4 is the lead for London. Morale, the pass over to Caldwell. Devley makes it once again a 4-point game. And that's another turnover. Portland just not able to keep possession here. And these are the moments that allow London to pull ahead. And so now they get another opportunity to increase their lead. Morale kept his balance there. Morale passes over to Debley, back over to Morale, but that one over his head, and he's going to, let's see, the official says yes, it is an over and back violation. And so good job by Portland to create that turnover. And McBride takes the ball from Orozco Nunez for another point. And it looks like McBride going to get called for the foul. So he'll head to the penalty area for a minute or until the Annihilators score. And Devley's just going to hold on to the ball for just a moment and make McBride wait just a little bit longer before he can come back into the field to play. Oh, and there is another turnover. McBride loses the handle on the ball, and the Annihilators with an opportunity to go up by 6. Morale with the ball, trying to work his way through, and he squeezes in between defenders. And now the Annihilators up by 6. And there is another turnover for London, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is where the game gets away from Portland. It is now 40-33 in favor of London. And now Roscoe Nunez trying to stop the bleeding a little bit. McBride takes the ball from Wheeler. McBride trying to score. And it looks like we're going to get a foul on the play. Quick update, Oscar Mike Militia 35, 360 Heat Yellow Team 22, end of the third period. Debley racing down the floor. McBride trying to stop him. He's not going to do it. And now the Annihilators once again up by 7. 41-34 the score. Orozco Nunez takes that ball. 41-35. Debley. The pass up the floor. Morale trying to catch it, and he does. Orozco Nunez with another point. Orozco Nunez takes the ball again, and we're going to get another stoppage in play. Roscoe Nunez with another point for Portland. And the Annihilators working their way back up the floor. Debley, and Debley goes crashing to the ground. He and McBride get caught up. Debley now taking the ball and scoring another for the Annihilators. McBride looking for Roscoe Nunez, but he couldn't find him. There he is. And Portland with another point. Smith for London. And for clarification, London is in Canada, in Ontario. Not London, England. Matt Debley takes the ball for the Annihilators, trying to get around the Portland defenders. But they're doing a pretty good job here of denying Debley. Debley has to dribble the ball, and now he finds a little space and passes it over to Wilsey. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to conclude the third period. And the Annihilators are dominating, leading 45-38. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, the final 8 minutes of this match, you are watching the playoff rounds in the 2018 Rugby Rave. We'll be back in just a few moments. The final 8 minutes of this playoff round, the London Annihilators up comfortably over the Portland Pounders. On the other court, Oscar Mike Militia still up on Ability 360 Heat Yellow team. And Caldwell extends the lead to 8 for London. The latest update from the East Court, Oscar Mike Militia 36, 360 Heat Yellow team 27. It looks like the score's changed slightly from our vantage point. Annihilator still, again, comfortably in the lead. Here back on the West Court. Wilsey takes it in uncontested. Wilsey once again for London, bringing the ball up the floor. He's got one person to beat, and he gets there. It was a little bit of a struggle, but he got there. And the Annihilators up now by double digits. Roscoe Nunez. The pass over to bring the team to within 7. It looks like there was an error on the scoreboard earlier. So the score 48-41. Make that 49-41. It looks like Wilsey's up over the ball, but the official right there to help him out. So once they dislodge that, we will resume play. Wilsey takes that ball away, and they're heading back. Annihilators extending that lead just a little bit more. A little over 2 minutes have gone by here in this fourth period. And Summerson now for Portland. Quick update, the final score from the East Court. Oscar Mike Militia victorious over the 360 Heat Yellow team, 41-34, the final score. So they will move on tomorrow. I believe they'll end up playing in the championship game. Perhaps they'll play in the 5th place game. Let's see. We'll have to find the standings to see where everybody's going after this round of competition. We do have one more set of games after this. Orozco Nunez working his way around, trying to get through. Trying to find the littlest space he could, and he did. Another point for Portland. Time ticking away here for Portland. Debley, the long pass over to Smith. Oh, and Orozco Nunez loses the ball. He's being hounded by 2 defenders. And a timeout for Portland. Debley, the long pass to Caldwell, looked like. And now Summerson for Portland. McBride loses the ball. Nice hit by Smith to dislodge that ball from McBride. And that is another turnover for Portland. Nicely done there by London to disrupt the Portland offense. But Portland gets it back. McBride with the ball at the moment, looking for some help. And McBride loses the ball. It's still loose. McBride picks it up. And the pass finds its way over to Wheeler. Jake Wheeler now over the line. Wilsey makes his way through. Debley with a little nudge there to McBride. Most of these guys have been playing with and against each other for so long. A lot of familiarity between these athletes and these teams. That ball is loose. Let's see. Wilsey picks it up for London. And he just sends it right on over. Nice and easy over to Dagonet. Pico Dagonet with a point. And Summerson comes back the other way with a point for Portland. Debley trying to come across the floor, and Wilsey takes a tumble, and he is down at the center line. But it didn't affect the run of play, so Shane Smith scores another point for London. And we're going to take a pause in the action as the trainers come out to lift Wilsey back off the floor. A nice recovery there by Wheeler. He almost lost that ball, but good job. And now he's being swarmed on. And let's see, he called a timeout before he got pushed over that center line. Now let's see here. It looks like Wilsey's going to the penalty area. Nope, he's getting the ball. He is going to throw in the ball. It was a turnover. It looked like Wheeler had called a timeout before he had gone over the center line, but that was not the case. And so now Wilsey for the Annihilators over to Smith for another point. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to finish things up here. 61-49, the final score. The London Annihilators doing their job and taking care of business against the Portland Pounders. Final score here, 61-49, London victorious. We're going to break here in just a moment. I'd like to potentially bring you that final game of the day, but we'll see. We'll take a break and hopefully we'll come back in just a little bit. Otherwise, we hope you'll join us tomorrow. You're watching the 2018 Rugby Rave live from the Ability 360 Sports and Fitness Center. received final confirmation that this will conclude our coverage for the day, but we will return tomorrow. We'll bring you the third place match and the championship match from the Ability 360 Sports and Fitness Center. Until then, good night, and we will see you tomorrow.